Have you thought about the potential advantages of having an introduction video? In this video, we're going to break it down. I'm going to teach you how to create an introduction video and the key little elements that makes it special for you. So right off the bat, first impressions. We know that they mean absolutely everything when it comes to trying to find new clients, networking, just everything within our business. If you have a product or service that you're trying to offer someone, you got one chance to impress them and to teach them. And that begins with a video like the introduction video. But the first question is, why do I need an introduction video? Is it really that beneficial? If you are a brand new business, it is a wonderful way to let people know that you are there. You have something that's of value to them and you want to share it with them. If you're a well-established business, it's your opportunity to reach not just your client base, but to go further and get a brand new set of clients that are waiting in the wing that you have no idea about. It's a bridge that connects you to your target audience. They're looking for something. They have an issue with something in their life. You have the solution. They're not going to know that you exist until you let them know. So you're building that bridge, that introduction video, to connect with them, to say, hey, I'm here. Let's talk. We have a lot to talk about in this video, but before we dive into what makes up the introduction video, let's talk about some quick little tips that'll help you before you hit that record button. Okay, so number one, preparation. You need to be prepared when you dive into these videos. So being prepared is a combination of things. You need to know what you're going to talk about within the video. So you need to create either a script or a bullet point list. I use bullet point lists because it's easier to keep me on track and I know what I'm going to say next. You also got to keep in mind the location of where you're going to film. Do you want to be indoors? Do you want to be outside? You need to make sure that wherever you film, whatever's around you is going to help the video and not distract from the video. You also want to keep in mind framing. So this camera is perfectly on to me, right? If I had the tripod down and my camera pointed up, it would look like I am a higher figure and I'm talking down to you. This doesn't feel like I'm teaching you. This feels like I'm talking down to you. It just makes the viewer feel a little uncomfortable. You also want to make sure that you are in frame. This is distracting because if I'm talking about the things I want to talk about, that's where your eye is going to, this thing. You see everything that's going on right here? It's so distracting. There's so much going on. Your eye doesn't know where to go to. And that also leads to background. Make sure that your background is something that complements your video and doesn't distract you. Those are some small little tips just to keep in mind as you go into it. But now, let's break this down. All right, so we're gonna begin with the opening hook. Now, the opening hook should be in the form of a question, a statement, even an answer to a question. Remember, you have 6 to 8 seconds to capture the attention of your audience before they start channel surfing and move away from your pretty face. So for an example, I began this video asking you, do you understand the benefit of the introduction video for your business? I started this video off with that question. It was a question. And so from that point on, hopefully you're still watching, hopefully you're like, actually, I kind of know the answer to this, but I want to learn more about the introduction video. Let's see what he has to say. It plants the seed into, hey, there's something that this person is offering. I'm kind of curious. I always say an opening hook is like a teaser to a movie. You know, you have a very short teaser trailer for a film that just doesn't really show what the film is about, but it just looks compelling and you're like, okay, I'm interested. That's what the opening hook should do. It invites people in. Next, we're gonna move on to what I call the meat. Now, the meat is where you're gonna start to talk about your business specifics, but you're not gonna get so detailed into it. You're just introducing them to the things that you are offering. If you have a coaching business, this is where you're gonna slowly start to talk about those packages that you have. You're not gonna go in depth of what is in those packages and what those packages offer. You're just gonna talk about, I have 3 set packages that are X, Y, and Z to let people know, okay, get ready, this is the thing that I'm offering. Next, we're gonna move on to what I call the bones. The bones is where you're really gonna start to dive into the details about the things you offer. So let's continue to use the coaching example. So you've already talked about the packages that you offer. Now we're going deep inside those packages and talking about in detail what they mean, what they offer, the price, all the details within those packages for your coaching business. Essentially, the meat is setting up for the bone. The bone is what's holding it all together, right? The meat is it's just the information that kind of sets up the core of your message. And in this case, in the introduction video, the core, your bones, is the details within your product or service. Next, we're gonna start whittling things down to the closing hook. Now, the closing hook should reflect the opening hook. What I mean by that, it's the same train of thought. The opening hook is to reel people in. The closing hook is to kind of do the same thing, but capsulize everything that you said. But still, you can do it in a question, a statement, or an answer, whatever it may be. And last but not least, a call to action. So at this point, your viewers have gone through a really cool journey with you. They got to know who you are, what you offer, why you offer it. So now they're like, okay, this thing sounds really good. How can I connect with this person to actually learn more about these offerings? This is where you're going to talk about, hey, if you want to reach out to me, here's my email, my phone number, my website, the ways that you want them to connect with you, because that's the point, right? The point of the introduction video is to let people know, hi, I'm here, here's what I offer, come, let's connect so I can provide you with these services. So with the call to action, there's a couple of things you can do when you're editing them. You can have them down here at the very bottom, like your email address or phone number, or at the end of your video, it gets fade out and then your title card pops up with your business logo, whatever you want with the information. Also have the information in the description of, if it's on YouTube, if it's on Facebook, wherever you have it posted, have it in the description so that if they're like, oh man, I need to rewind the video to check it out, it's in the description as well so they can quickly go to it and find it and connect with you. Now there's one thing we're gonna talk about before we close this video, and that's personality. Why do I keep talking about personality in all my posts? Why? Is because it's so vital for your visibility. What I mean by that is you want to stand out from the crowd, right? You want people to look over your competitors and see you. And to do that, don't put on a character. Don't be a one person on the camera and then another person off camera. Be the same person on both sides. Let that God-given unique personality drive your message. When letting your personality be in the foreground of everything you do, forget what everyone else thinks. Forget it. Do what you do best. You know the things that you offer are very valuable. Let your personality express it and have fun with it. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you know anyone that would benefit from these videos, share them, spread it. The whole point of these videos is to help you to create content that I know you can create. And if you're in the Nashville area and want to grab coffee and talk about video marketing, let's connect.